Gary!
Seinfuck.
Just go ahead and start from the top of that and read each bar like it's an individual sentence.
Okay. I've just been sent a thing by Harper.
Doesn't need context.
I'm going to read it.
No context required.
Okay. That pussy better stank, otherwise I don't want it. Popped a perk 30, got straight to fucking. That pussy dolce. Smoking fentanyl, lace cereal, milk, I see God. This chain ain't nothing to me, man. That pussy got me screaming, crying, pissing, shitting, shooting ropes. Yeah, we getting that Pirate Bay alien shish kebab cordyceps money. I hope them aliens are real so that I have more things to fuck. Smoking the Qui-Gon gin Vietnamese Phillips head runs.
Qui-Gon gin.
Don't interrupt him.
It's better than Dual J.
She sucked me like a cordless Dyson V8. I'm in a K-hole licking balloon knot. When I got the meat cannon, I shooting straight rope. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. Channel optics got me seeing shit. I need fentanyl slime. I just popped a whole garbanzo bean. Fuck you, mean. I smoke real, I can't even pronounce that word, Emirani, Rapscallion ghost nuggets. Y'all can't fuck with me. I'm him. I've been him. I will continue to be him. Yellow rubies glistening like piss. Gulping sea monkeys by the gallon. My tummy feel crazy. That coochie yummy slime. That coochie doing it for me slime. They thought they could stop the demon. I'm back. The Zaza got me speaking Esperanto. This shit ain't nothing to me, man. We out here cloud seeding, scope gleaming. You can't trust me. I don't even trust myself. I don't even know who I am anymore. I'm getting too much money. Ass so fat I'm peeking off this Danny Phantom slime. Can you remind me who I am? Get the president on the phone right now. I fronted him a brick. I need my money. Hello? Black China? That's it.
I choked on Black China.
Well done, Malcolm.
Good job. We're proud of you.
It was so hard not to laugh during that.
You did great.
You did a good job, yeah.
That concludes Malcolm Reed's Dracula flow.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've seen the latest like Mr. Beast video, because you shouldn't. But
well, I guess I haven't.
It's $1 versus like, I don't know, like something like $100 million car. And it's just like all these things where there's all this like gratuitous CGI that he's added to the things. And he's driving the $1 car and then it zooms out to like a cliff. And then the car, it's implied that he's in the car with like his friend, just drives off a cliff. There's a massive explosion. And then it just cuts to them at the next car. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
But what is a $1 car?
It's just like he bought like a rusty car.
Oh, just like a fucking lemon beater that was going to be like stripped for parts anyway, basically.
Yeah. I was being kind of kind to it, I think, at that point.
Yeah. It's clear that he put way more than $1. It's like, it's that gimmick of like, oh, I got the thumbnail and the title of the video.
Yeah.
Like, because he clearly like he bought a junker car that barely worked, and then there was some work done so that they could drive it, and then they imply that they just drive it off a cliff and die, and then go to the next. And then it's like on to the next segment. It's really crazy. Like these videos that he's been doing this, like when he's got like one with a pit where he's like, I'm going to drive a tank into a pit. I don't know if he drove a tank.
Fucking why?
This is starting to sound like he's like aping Whistling D for views. You ever seen a Whistling D video?
What does that mean? I'm sorry. What does that mean, Harper?
Aping is when you copy someone. Whistling D is a content creator that makes his money off of pretending to not know anything about cars while
Whistling D sounds like a euphemism for sucking dick.
Whistling Diesel.
Still sounds like sucking dick.
Well, Robert, you're not a car guy, and frankly, you don't look like one, so I don't really...
What does that mean? I don't look like a car guy.
If you think Whistling D means something about penis, Robert, well, you're sorely mistaken, my friend.
Oh, I'm sore, all right.
Well, that's like that guy. Remember when we were in San Diego and we were at this bar, this really great was like pizza place, like brewery.
Oh yeah, Pizza Port.
Yeah, we were at Pizza Port. And this guy, we get like talking to this guy who, what a character. I want to give this shout out. We didn't even talk about him when we were recapping.
Oh yeah, on the last time we recorded, yeah.
What a guy. First of all, one of his things is he's like, yeah, I ride motorcycles. Like, he was a big hockey fan. He was like all into the San
that's
Diego
what
Gulls.
started the big thing because I think he heard us talking about hockey.
A Gulls fan.
Yeah, he's a Gulls fan, Kings fan. Which
Can't be.
is,
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't.
You have to be a Ducks fan if you're a Gulls fan.
You're a Ducks fan, Gulls fan, maybe a Sharks fan.
But what I remember is that we got to some point where we're talking about motorcycles, and then first of all, he looks at me and he's like, "Yeah, he's not riding a motorcycle." Like, I was like, "What?"
he was like a very derisive person.
Yeah, but then he also is like, "Yeah, I've had opportunities. I've ridden with like some gang members. You know, I've ridden."
Yeah, he's
with,
talking about all the clubs he could join.
Yeah,
like, I used to hang out with the Hells Angels, but I don't want to be like, gay or anything. And it was
yeah, well, he kept calling the Hells Angels gay. He's like, "Yeah, I don't want to be part of that gay organization."
Good way to get fucking killed, dude.
Exactly. Like, I mean, well, obviously we're not going to name drop him, but like, dude, don't do that in public.
I thought that was insane. Like, I was like, I can't believe someone is like, just would be like so casually being like, just saying that about the Hells Angels.
And his wife is like right next to him, and she's like intermittently just like putting her hand on her like face and like face bombing because of what he's saying.
I grew up in a town where the Hells Angels were intermittently very influential, as in they would come through and spend a lot of money.
Bike Week, love it.
Yeah. As a result, a lot of high-profile Hells Angels funerals came through the town. You get to know some of them. Some of them are pretty nice guys. And I've seen a lot of bikers at an undisclosed bar here in the valley that would like to emulate those people by getting their dick sucked in the bathroom. And to those bad seeds, I say, you're not cool for getting your dick sucked in a biker bar bathroom.
Yeah, that's kind of
most
sad.
likely you're getting your dick sucked by a biker, and that's not cool, man. Not to mention, like, you got to dig through all the like the flies in her teeth and everything.
Gross. Yeah, she fucking you through the gap in her front teeth.
Oh, fucking Jesus.
Anyway. But you know who you are if you're listening. You're not. Like you to stop doing that so I can use that bathroom without having to flip the toilet seat with my foot.
I mean, have you ever walked into a bathroom while someone was like either fucking or getting their dick sucked?
Yes, dude. That's why I'm saying this.
Okay. I thought the way you implied it seemed like more of an after the fact thing.
No, it happens so often that you just have to start keeping your eye on the bathroom door.
Oh yeah, what's her name? What's her number?
What? No, man. And it's not like it's hard.
Oh, come on. You don't have to say it like that.
So you walked into a biker bar bathroom. Sasha, cut this.
No, it's not.
It wasn't. Wait, no. What am I thinking of?
Don't think about it too hard. You've
Was
been
it the?
I don't think it was no.
It wasn't. Okay, we got to cut all these
very
names.
Very upscale biker establishments.
That's fair. Oh, we're thinking of okay.
You just had to say the name. Like, if you knew it, then why?
Because there are multiple biker bars in this fucking city.
It is a city of biker bars. That's why.
Yeah, I can throw a rock and hit a biker bar. Sasha will cut it.
Doesn't matter. Yeah,
Sasha will cut the name. Anyway, so you walked into.
Yeah, we didn't go to for fuck's sake, and cut it out or bleep it out. So anyway,
yeah, you guys went to American Junkie.
Yeah, we went to Guy Fieri's Flavor Town at the MGM Sports Bar Casino.
Fuck yeah.
And walked in on someone getting their dick sucked in Flavor Town.
Yeah. There's only one flavor, and it's salty.
Yeah, I went to place a bet. Excuse me, management at the MGM Sportsbook at Caesars. I went to go place a $20 bet anytime touchdown on Dobbs, and it turns out someone was getting their dick sucked at the Guy Fieri's Flavor Town. This is not the flavor I hope to encounter at the Caesars Sportsbook MGM.
Oh, creamy, salty, good stuff.
Yeah, that's a cream fraiche I didn't order.
Ooh, cream fraiche, you mean?
Creme fraiche?
Cream fraiche or cream fresh?
Well, you guys have said it 3 different ways just now.
Yeah, because
it's called creme fraiche.
It's a French loan word, but it's actually cream fraiche or cream fresh.
It's creme fraiche. I'm going to say.
Well, there's not creme fraiche. Okay, I'm getting off this fucking topic.
Say creme fraiche.
Because I was going to say, like, if we're going to be a Flavor Town, like, your cum's gonna end up tasting like ranch, right?
It's a French loan word. It's going to be pronounced in different ways.
Yeah, it's just like how people call it LaCroix when the French call it like La Croix. It actually took me a while to like have to say it like the American way.
Well, yeah, but say La Croix very quickly, and it sounds like the Latin word for water, aqua, and that's kind of
La
the whole
Croix.
thing.
Yeah, and so but then Americans are like, we got to call it LaCroix. We don't want to sound like, you know.
You're American too.
You're North American.
Yeah, we look down on you.
All we said was not to get blown in a biker bar.
We just asked people who think they're Hell's Angels not to get blown in biker bars.
That's their favorite thing. They get blown at the biker bar, or they get blown while they're watching reruns of Sons of Anarchy.
Hell's Angels, by the way, very nice guys. Not all of them ride bikes. Some of them are in sedans on business. Okay?
On business. Yeah.
That's true.
Some of them take F-150s and horse trailers and bring their bikes to
Some
the
of them
bars.
have very economical Hyundais that they drive.
That is true. There's like, I feel like the Hells Angels that I've like encountered, because there's Hells Angels up here too, are like, you know, some of them are like lawyers and stuff. They're the ones
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, they clean it up a bit. They're like, yeah.
You get two kinds of Hells Angels, the poor ones and the rich ones, and you best be afraid of the poor ones because they can afford dues and you don't want to know how or why.
Oh, you know how.
Well, you know, yeah.
Guys, you can't say that.
You can't say that. Hold on, I got to do Sasha's impression of me. God, see, you can't say that.
Oh, man.
I love his impression of me. It makes me so happy.
My impression of you is way better. Malcolm, you can't say that.
I was going to say, so I have a funny Sasha story. So recently, he's going to hate this, but I don't care.
Oh, go on. It's going to make me happy.
Break it wide open.
So we were at pub trivia last week. And so there's this bit that he claims that I started. And I will not confirm or deny on this podcast if I started. But yeah, so we were at pub trivia. And so the thing is we have this thing where I or him will go like, there'll be a glass of water and it'll be like pretty much full. But if you take a sip and there's a jug of water, we always just go, you must be parched. And then you fill it to the brim, like that point where like it almost is spilling over.
The surface tension.
Yeah, you get to that surface tension point and you just
the meniscus is the scientific term for that.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so we get to the surface tension meniscus of the water.
Oh, the meniscus of the water. Oh, go ahead.
Fuck you.
Why do you know that?
But because of the pub trivia, and we'd like been drinking before, we went to this place called Monzo Burger. Shout out, the great in Vancouver. Yeah, so we're already a little like inebriated. And we walked by this kind of a funny side note, but like we were walking to the bar before trivia, and there's like a little like stand that's like take a little book, leave a book, like free book place. And we just thought it would be funny to bring to the bar a copy of Little Women. We found a copy of Little Women.
Did you leave a book?
We long story short, we brought the book back, but we brought it.
So you brought it out for a quick night out.
Yeah, we brought it to the bar. You know, it was like a kind of a nerd bar called Glitch. But we're doing this, and like he starts doing the water thing to everyone. He's like constantly pouring water to the point where people are like, Sasha, stop. He's spilling, and he just keeps yelling out, I'm not a menace. I'm not a menace.
I'm not a menace. Sasha, I love you to death. You are a menace.
And I'm like, you of course are a menace because you're the one who's saying this out loud. Like it was getting sloppy. But what's so funny is so we have this copy of Little Women that somehow doesn't get waterlogged. But part of the trivia was that they were just like, one of the categories was like novels. And it was like, name the last sentence from the novel. And then I like going over the book and like, we got this book. And it's a pretty famous books like Great Gatsby and stuff. When we look at, and then they read out the final line of Little Women, and I go, "Oh my god!
That's awesome! That is incredible!"
Just shared it, yeah. And then we told the guy who was running the trivia, about it. He was like, "God damn, that's the best I've ever seen!"
It's incredible.
Yeah, but the actual final line is, "Oh my girls, however long you may live, I never can wish you a greater happiness than this." But yeah, very Pinterest.
Quick question before we move on from this. Sorry. Do you and Sasha actively look for places that would like fit the description of a barcade? Like, do you go to places that have hot sauce menus as well?
I mean, it is a reduction.
You just find places you could be like as gay as possible. Yes, your craft beer list, please.
I'm sorry, would you happen to have an IPA on top?
I love
Choppy,
the exposed
please.
red brick wall. May I have your $13 burger, please?
$30 is a cheap burger. That's like we
got to think we're Americans. You okay?
Yeah.
$19 burger.
Yeah.
Canadian.
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
little
there you
much.
go.
We're like in between, like 15, 16. But that was like another friend had organized it, so we didn't pick the bar. But like I would say most bars that I go to definitely have an IPA on tap. There's your or
Extra
IPA stuff.
hoppy.
Yeah, I don't like
Extra.
IPAs.
Garçon.
I think we partly bonded over the fact that we both hated IPAs, Malcolm.
They're too hoppy. They're not good. I don't like it. I want a smooth beer. Give me a smooth beer and give me your finest hot sauce from the hot
I
sauce.
want something that tastes like shit. I want to make sure it has equal amount of alcohol content, and that generally is like wine, like bad wine.
Yeah, Malcolm, I have another read along for you to do.
God damn it! Why is Malcolm doing all? Why can't I do a read along?
Do you want to do this one? That's fine with me. It would actually save Malcolm a good bit of embarrassment.
Okay, I'll read along. I'll read along. Oh, waitress! I can't snap my fingers with holding my microphone button down.
Yeah,
Thank
Malcolm,
you.
put in a snap
Come
sound.
here, my puppet. I've decided on what I shall dine upon today. May I have the beardy McBeardman mega beefy quadruple beef beer bacon and bourbon with 3,000 month pink Himalayan salt, cave aged, cruelty free, slavery free, non-GMO farm to table cigar smoked Gouda. Oh, and of course, my apologies for not realizing that the hot sauce menu was a subset of the main menu, albeit a separate pamphlet detailing the intricacies of each sauce as well as pairing suggestions would be a welcome addition. Pass that along to your saucemonger, please. I shall sample in your house Beelzebub 7 million Scoville hemorrhoid holocaust nuclear anal leakage XXXXXX fecal fury sauce. And my sweet, mayhaps a bottle of it to go. Though I am yet to taste it, I'm sure that my buddies at the barcade, yes, a portmanteau of bar and arcade, and yes, you can actually drink as you play video games. Whatever will they think of next will be utterly tickled by the label your crew has concocted for that bottle. And another round of your hoppiest IPA, please.
I'm pretty sure that's LGR in the thumbnail.
I enjoyed reading that.
The thing is that guy looks like a lot of people who frequent the barcades in Vancouver.
Oh, imagine that.
Oh, incredible. It's almost like the stereotype is somewhat viable.
The Goonie beard man stereotype is real? How could I have possibly figured this out? Before we get it too ahead of ourselves, Malcolm, there's been some big news this week. Columbus Blue Jackets legend, Mike Babcock, top 3 Blue Jackets coach of all time in terms of averages. It's a perfect 5.0 if you think about it.
Yeah, he never lost a
He's
game.
never lost. He's never won.
Oh, no.
A perfect 5.0. The best coach probably that the Blue Jackets have ever had, or that they were going to get, realistically, has been fired. Unceremoniously and surreptitiously fired from the organization after it was revealed that he would pull young players into the coaching room in front of other members of the team and demand that they put their phone into airdrop mode so he could look at their pictures and disseminate upon them with the staff.
Like, what were the offending pictures? I'm guessing there's got to be some bad shit.
I want you to imagine that you are 20 years old.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you're 20 years old and your boss, who you're trying to impress, goes and he walks up to you and he's like, hey, I want to get to know you. So can I see all the photos on your phone? And because you feel pressured as to like, you know, it's the difference of like, if you make the NHL, you're making like $1 million, or if you make like the AHL or sent back to junior, you're going to make, you know, like peanuts. Like you'll make like, 20, like 30
Yeah,
grand,
the wage
50 grand.
disparity between the two, or discrepancies between the two, are quite large.
Exactly. You know, and so you're like, shit. And like, what's so crazy about it is that, so Mike Babcock, he's done this before. Like he's a guy, he's a real piece of. There's no one in hockey that is more despised than Mike Babcock. Like, he is, everyone loathes him. Like, he's the one guy where people are like going out of their way to go on podcasts and be like, I got shit to say about this fucking guy. Like, he's that, that kind of low of scumbag. But yeah, he was like, this whole thing was, he left the league previously kind of in disgrace because he did some shit with he got like a rookie.
It was Mitch Marner, right?
With Mitch Marner to basically like, he asked him like which veterans needed to pull their weight more. And so he answered it. And also what other rookies needed to like do more. He answered it. And then he just showed the guys. He's like, yeah, Mitch said you need to work harder.
Jesus.
What
Jesus.
a menace, dude. What a fucking menace.
One, that kid shouldn't have answered, but two, oh my God.
Well, hockey culture, as we've talked about on this podcast, is a lot of, there are a lot of plebs.
A lot of bullying that goes on.
Not hard hard thinkers. I get you.
Yeah. So, some of them are, they're very much like, we fall in line, sir. But this time around, they're like, people are just like, what the fuck's going on? And so what was crazy is, so the story broke on a podcast called Spitting Chicklets, which is like a funny
Biz Nasties
podcast, hockey podcast. It's like one of the only ones where like, if you watch like the players who like they interview, they actually give real stories. It's like the only place where hockey players have a personality.
It's not just like them spitting stats and be like, yeah, we're going to be great this season.
But in Spitting Chicklets, they'll be like, so yeah, you were in Russia. And then they'll tell a 10-minute long insane story about like how they were playing on a team run by Russian gangsters. And that they were basically snorting like meth and then playing hockey. Like, it's like, you're like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know if it's not meth, but they have this thing called Russian gas, which is like apparently
is meth.
It's meth.
Yeah, it's basically meth. But it's like a gas form. So yeah, so they got the Russian, like all the Russian gassers. Like, you're just like,
they're just doing whippets, but it's meth.
Yeah, they just got like insane stories about like, I was playing in, again, in Russia or like some like Eastern Bloc country. And then, I got jumped at a fancy restaurant and had to, fight 10 guys. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, these are like stories I want to hear. So I give them like credit. But they don't usually break stories. They're usually like the ones gossiping. They're a
player podcast, though.
Yeah, they're a player podcast. But then they got these texts from these players being like, "Oh, Mike Babcock's up to his old tricks.
He's at it again,
that old bastard."
And so they just tell it. They're like, "Yeah, we got a bunch of reports that this is what's happening." And initially, like it comes out, and like the Columbus Blue Jackets, they issue like a very like a statement.
Nasty's a fucking liar. That should never happen.
Yeah, they're like, it's really overblown. Like, it's not like that. They get the captain who,
they got the captain to toe the line, dude.
They get Boone Jenner
to repeat the lie that like this.
Yeah, he was just like, he asked me for a picture of my family. And of course, you see what kind of man I was.
I want to say this right now. Boone Jenner should not enough people talk about him in this story. He should be stripped of his C for what
Absolutely.
he did.
I'm sure he's getting like Full Metal Jacket beaten with soap style. Something like, you can't be popular.
Should be the captain of the Blues tomorrow.
He's a spineless coward who fell in line, and he should have protected the younger players, because this is what it was really the younger players who like pushed the story. So he does this thing, and then Johnny Gaudreau, who's also on the Columbus Blue Jackets, he's like a kind of a superstar player who shockingly signed in Columbus last summer. He kind of said something. He was like, "Oh, I had to share photos," and then but he doesn't like defend it or like criticize it. He's just kind of very much in the middle. Again, kind
matter
of
of fact, this is what happened.
Cowardly move. But the thing is, so Spitting Chicklets goes, they've been called liars, and they're like, we're not liars. Like, this is a real thing. The NHLPA has to get involved. They're like, all right, we're going to do an investigation. And then again, within 48 hours, the NHLPA is like,
we've investigated ourselves and we found no wrongdoing.
Yeah, usually that's the case. They're like, well, we can't fire ourselves here. So, but this time around, again, this is how despised Mike Babcock is. They go, yeah, it happened. It happened out of facilities. So like, there were like guys being asked to show their camera.
It's because Elliott came forward about it. I'm pretty sure they would have fucking cleared him if it wasn't for the fact that like players were putting their name to that report.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So that's the thing. Mike Babcock has been an NHL coach on and off for like 20 years. Like, he coached Anaheim, Detroit, Toronto. Now he was supposed to coach Columbus. So he has a line of people who are like, fuck this guy. I want him gone. So there's all these guys, like former players, are like, get him, motherfuckers, which I think has empowered these players. What's so funny, I don't know, Harper, if you saw it, but they had a press conference today as of like the day of this recording.
I didn't see it.
And the GM, Jarmo Kekalainen, he goes and he softly admits, he's like, yeah, Mike Babcock also got me to show photos for my phone.
Oh my God.
Kekalainen gave him his fucking phone.
What the fuck? I saw that.
How old are these girls, Kekalainen?
Yeah, and like a lot of people want Kekalainen fired because he made the hire, and everyone was like, yeah, because that's the other thing. When Mike Babcock was hired, everyone was like, this is a bad hire. Like because they would do the press conference of like, oh, he's good character. He's got presence. He's got so much experience. And then it's like, he doesn't have good character. He doesn't have he got a good reputation. Like people don't like him. He's not even that great of a coach. Like
his track record's not good.
Middling at best, yeah.
He fucked up a really stacked Detroit team in the 2000s. Like they should have won. Fucked up the Leafs. Like it was just not great. But like so they had like the people were playing the press conference from before and like being like, yeah, we did our due diligence. And then in the press conference today, they're like, yeah, we should have listened to the people who said that he was not a good guy. Like it was like,
dude, I think Kekalainen literally said something like, maybe it wasn't such a good idea.
Yeah,
something like that.
He did. He said, yeah, this wasn't a good idea. The people who said this wasn't a good idea were right. You're like, come on, man.
Maybe they were right. He said that was the exact quote.
Yeah, and then they immediately named like the head assistant coach who like has a really good reputation. Who like no one has a bad word to say about this guy Pascal Vincent.
Why didn't they just hire him to begin with? I guess is my question.
Well,
great question. Great question. It's because hockey is a very tight inner circle, and guys keep getting chances that shouldn't, like Mike Babcock.
Have you ever heard of the coaching carousel?
For me, yeah. Have you heard about the coaching carousel?
No, I didn't. There was a coach who killed herself?
No.
No.
What? No.
I really misheard that. Sorry.
Carousel.
Coach carousel. What is the coach carousel? I got really sad for a second.
What do you think we said? Goddamn, Robert. No.
I'm a depressing person. Shut up.
No, I do love the fact that you thought coach at carousel meant coach who killed herself.
I'm sorry. Like, if we're gonna talk, like, you guys are already talking about like fucked up shit. There was probably some not PC shit that got shared to Mike Babcock.
Can you imagine, Robert? Like Mike Babcock takes your phone when he's like, "Give me that. I'm gonna see what kind of fucking person you are, Delilah."
I would punch him. I don't fucking give a shit. Don't fucking touch my phone. I'd go and I'd play for the fucking like Leafs or some shit. I don't fucking care.
Oh yeah, sure. Robert thinks he's good enough to get on the Leafs after being drafted by the Blue Jackets.
I forget that the Leafs. I forget that the Leafs are like one of the better teams. It's just they never win.
They are hockey, Robert.
They are hockey. They just never win a playoff.
Their fans constantly tell me they are hockey.
Exactly.
The coach carousel is the idea that there are no new coaches in the NHL. It is a revolving carousel of the same coaches between teams.
Oh, so like corporate executives in the US.
Yeah, basically it's like a small circle, and then like sometimes they'll hire a new person because like someone ages out, but like that's about it. Like they'll be like, you'll see certain coaches and they're like,
yeah.
They've coached like half the league, it feels like. Like even the NBA is not like this. Like the NBA, like once you like flame out as a head coach, most of the time they're like one and done. You're like, you're done.
You're basically poison, yeah.
Yeah, you can go be an assistant, but like that's about it. Here, they're like, well, he got to the playoffs.
He's got some juice in him after that near playoff brush. Yeah. Every team you've coached, someone has come forward and said you are the biggest piece of shit in the world. So I think this is it for you.
There was a guy who was like, he treats the janitors like shit, and you're like, how? What? like if that's
they're not even on the team.
I'm just saying, I couldn't see myself being like, oh, you're the help. Like, what the fuck, man?
It's not even just that. He's probably seen Adam Fantilli's dick is the point.
Why doesn't it, like at that point, why doesn't Adam Fantilli deck the guy? Like, fuck, why would anyone stand for that? I get it's money.
It's Mike Babcock.
But at the same time, those people have a lot less power than they think they do.
They have a player organization.
Yeah, that's why they're supposed to do this, but
they usually don't do it unless someone squeals. So
I do want to say that at least it's happening to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and it's not like the Coyotes or the Canucks again. Like,
Amen, brother. Oh, I forgot that like half of your city is owned by.
You can't. We're gonna have to have a rephrase on that one.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sasha. Please save me.
We apologize. Thank you for making us not be canceled.
I think the thing is I actually believe, I mean, it's a whole other topic, but like that Vancouver should get a new basketball team because China, it's so popular in China for like basketball that like, if you want to start getting like Chinese talent back into the NBA, you take it to Vancouver because you can convince some of those guys to go to Vancouver before you can convince them to be like, I'm going to Houston where Yao played.
Didn't you guys have a fucking basketball team at one point?
Yeah, we had the Vancouver Grizzlies, and now they're in Memphis, and they're all still called the Grizzlies.
I got shit on for this on Twitter, on X, if you will. Someone had suggested the Coyotes move to Georgia, and I did a quick Google, and I was like, Coyotes are non-native to Georgia. There's no Coyotes in Georgia. And everyone's just like, how many Penguins are in Pittsburgh? It's like, fuck you. Like, shut up. And how many Grizzlies are in Memphis? And to that I say, Grizzlies could turn up in Memphis. That seems fair. We're going to have to send Robert to fight him in order to find out.
I mean, I have a little segment I can do. I'm going to read from my second favorite website, reddit.com.
Okay, cool. As long as it's not Calypso Recall Chapter 3, I'm fine.
Well, you got to give him time to create.
It's taking a hiatus, everybody. It's okay.
It's not on hiatus. It's
for the sake of my mental health.
It's
that. Listen, it's art, and it's my soul on the page, and I have to refuel my soul before I can give it to the universe.
Okay, what is that thing from Reddit?
It's just art. I don't know if you get it, but
he can't menace you over the camera for longer than 5 minutes. His eyes will get dry.
Yeah, just from glazing over. Okay, so this one is called "Am I the Asshole for Telling My Roommate That Her Pregnancy Is Not My Problem?"
Okay, I misheard that. I was like, how can the pregnancy not be her problem?
The girl that I live with, Kay, is pregnant and is due early next year. Of course, she seems excited to have a baby, but at the same time, she's been making her pregnancy my problem. I get that the pregnancy is going to affect her physically in many ways, but Kay has been a pain in the ass to deal with. I had to throw out all the bananas because she was complaining about how strong the smell was. She isn't helping with cooking or cleaning as much as she used to. Kay cries about almost everything, and it's annoying as hell. Her pregnancy is making her vomit, which I expected, but sometimes the vomiting is so intense, and once she pretty much projectile vomited on the floor because she couldn't make it to the bathroom, for which I had to clean her vomit up. Over the past few months, she's been asking me to get things for her from the store, even on good days when she isn't feeling sick. When I asked her why she couldn't just get up and go to the store herself, she said that I'm not the pregnant one. So this is where I may be the asshole. Kay has been asking me to drive her to her appointments, which I did once, but then it became a constant thing of her asking me and I kept refusing. This is what happened the other day. She asked me to take her to the clinic. I said no. I was busy that day. She kept pleading with me, and finally I had enough and kind of snapped. I told her that she is the only one responsible for her pregnancy and to not make it my problem, so that she needs to stop making it by asking me to constantly do favors for her. She started crying and I left because I couldn't take it anymore. I know I may have been harsh to a pregnant lady, but I don't feel like I need to be her personal servant. Am I the asshole?
Are you a man, and is that your baby?
Yeah, I guess that's the big question. Whose baby is it? Because just the statement that
I have the distinct feeling.
Yeah, the statement that it's only her problem is like psychotic, I will say.
So this is this is the reveal. He is a man who wrote this, and she is pregnant with his child.
Jesus Christ.
The tooth comes out.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you fucking know it?
So he's a literal monster.
Yeah, he's a fucking asshole.
So he was asked in the comments, he was like, is this your child? And he goes, yes. And then this is a follow-up. Someone comments, he goes, then yes, you are the asshole. She's doing all the hard work making your child. The least you could do is be there for her. She seems like she's having an awful time. Are you going to be like this when the baby comes? Also, why didn't you say she was your wife at the beginning? By the way, not just roommate, it's a wife.
Oh my
it's
God.
at the Jesus.
So he just referred to her as a roommate, but he's actually married to her.
You know what this Reddit post sounds a lot like to me? Court evidence.
Court evidence. Yeah. Oh my God.
So in his response to that comment, he goes, again, her pregnancy is her responsibility. I'm waiting for the baby to come so that we could be done with this. She is my roommate. I mean, that's what she's acting like instead of a wife.
What?
Unbelievable that I share a fucking planet with these disgusting
We
cryptids.
share a planet with these fucking cretins.
There should be
Insane.
some behavior that's punishable by gallows, you know?
No, I'm not even. We don't need gallows. We need stocks, like still, like literal, like in the town square.
Well, that would be a lot more fun, wouldn't it?
I fucking hope this guy,
Rotten
this woman,
vegetables.
divorces him and takes like not even half of everything, 3/4 of everything. This guy deserves a judge like fucking hard browing him from the stand, being like, "You fucking
Sincerely,
deadbeat son of a bitch."
sincerely, bro, I hope she gets a fucking physical trainer after the pregnancy. And I hope he's very, very much more attractive because let's face it, that's going to happen to you. You're the type of guy that happens to.
You are a future bitter divorcee, and I hope you really feel that.
Oh, yeah. This is the kind of guy who, like, clearly is going to be like, we got to ban divorce. Like, divorce is killing men. Like, you know, like
Yeah, an MRA.
Yeah. Men's right activists. Like, how the fuck do you describe your wife as your roommate? Like, you bury the lead to make it like him somewhat
like he's a girl
like
or
it-
something, yeah.
Yeah, somewhat. Even if you're like a guy roommate and you're like, let's say you have a girl roommate who's like, you know, father to be ran out on her, I'd probably drive her to the clinics. I'm just saying, that's me.
Yeah, because you're not a fucking asshole.
one of the other things is, so one of the people asked, when did you get pregnant? Was this an accident or was this planned? And then he goes, we planned on the pregnancy, but I didn't know she would turn into a lazy, entitled, annoying, emotional child.
Jesus Christ.
And then luckily one person chimed in and goes, like, quotes that, like the lazy entitled part, and goes, so she turned into you? And
Got
then
him.
he responded being like, I'm not the one who's staying at home whining and not taking care of themselves. And I'm like, you're the one on fucking Reddit, like getting your ass
Yeah.
handed to you.
You're on fucking Reddit.
Oh my, I mean, I hope this is fake. I genuinely do. But then again, there are real guys who exist like this. And a lot of women don't know who they're like dating, marrying, having kids with until like, you know, like like one of the saddest statistics in the world is that like most women who undergo cancer get divorced. Most men leave their fucking cancer-ridden wives, and there is a specific place in hell where fucking lead-footed goblins kick you in the balls over and over again.
Oh, I was just going to say as well that he has one of his comments as well is, I've been setting boundaries from the start and she won't budge. I don't know why she doesn't ask other people, or better yet, why doesn't she just do it herself? I'm not her cook, or her chauffeur, or her nurse. You know?
You're her husband.
Yeah, you're technically all of those things when she needs
It's literally
you to
the
be.
one time you have to be all those things for
You
like
know?
8 months. It's not even for a full year you have to do this, and you're being the whiniest little bitch about it. Honestly, World War III can't come soon enough.
the nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah, the only thing that's unfortunate is that with Am I the Asshole is like so many people use burner accounts so that their like actual Reddit use isn't like shown. And I wish he was just like dumb enough that like
To
he's more
use
of a
his
dumb-
normal account, yeah.
If only.
If only, yeah.
He's dumb enough to do a lot of other stuff.
But yeah, I thought I saw that and I was like, I gotta share this because
I mean, I hope it's fake. It sounds a little bit like rage bait, but at the same time, I know they exist.
I think the problem is that there's some of them you read and you're like, oh yeah, this is obviously fake. This one feels real. Like his account is still open. Like it's not like it's all been removed and taken down and he's like no longer on Reddit. Like, you can see his comments. Like he's, like I feel like it's just real enough where you're like, oh yeah, there's definitely some like red-pilled guy who's just like, well, women, she said she's a feminist. Why can't she do it herself? And you're like, because she's fucking pregnant with your kid that you planned. Like you should have known this. Like, goddamn.
the Reddit moment of like knowing what pregnancy entails and then still being like, but this is hard.
But this sucks. I don't get to play video games for 14 hours a
For 14
day.
hours a day with a 10 millimeter sounding rod up my stiff cock. This is fucking Nazi Germany. Oh, Avengers, save me. She's right behind me, isn't she?
Okay, let's read a user question. Let's wrap this up. We have a question here from Kyle.
Hi, Kyle.
I got a question for y'all. What is the weirdest time to jerk off? Not like an event or anything like that, but a literal hour of the day. I enjoy the podcast. Keep up the good work.
I'm going to say noon because you should be being productive at noon. If you jerk off at noon, you are a loser and you have nothing going on. You should be at least doing laundry at noon. Unless you're like just waking up at 11. That still kind of makes you a loser unless you're working graveyard.
What if it's like a weekend? Like you're just like a week. Like
Doesn't
is it
matter.
like
You shouldn't
like-
jerk off on the weekend.
you should jerk off on the weekend? What?
No. That's what 3 a.m. on a Monday's for.
Robert,
you semen retention wizard.
No, I'm just like you.
Robert waits until the witching hour to bust his nut. That's right.
I love that.
Robert was like, Hextus motherfucker, monocrio.
Yeah, busting it out for Satan.
Oh,
He clenched his fist and beat it.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
he's just constantly looking at the Silent Night. It's like there wasn't a sound, like not even whatever. I forget the.
I might not be a ghost, but I'm making some ectoplasm.
Yeah, you're becoming Slimer tonight.
I forgot this
yeah.
was a comedy podcast. That's
Oh
my
yeah,
bad.
it's not a hockey podcast. Despite your guys' best efforts.
Yeah, we are trying as hard as we can.
We're trying to pivot. Yeah,
We're trying to lean into it.
I'd say the weirdest time to jerk off about 9:05 a.m.
Yeah, you just woke up.
Like you should be at work, and you're probably, if you are doing it, then you're doing
You're
it
at
in
work.
like the work bathroom.
Yeah. Have you ever jerked off at work, Robert?
No comment.
no comment.
All right, well.
Oh man, I'm thinking. I want to say like 3 or 4. Like I feel like again, it's kind
Like
of in
PM
that, like,
or AM.
And that's kind of like you
PM.
can have it. That seems fair to do. If it's like 3 or 4, you could be off work feasibly.
Yeah,
And
you
don't
could
have
have
to
been
go off
like
of
an
work.
early
Yeah.
day. You like get home, the wife isn't there yet, the kids are still at school.
Yeah.
Either you bust it right when you wake up, or right when you get home, or right before bed.
Yeah.
Or
I
if
guess
you can't sleep and you wake up at the witching hour.
Exactly. Robert, do you couldn't you like get a medication or
I
something?
don't sleep that much.
What are you talking about? You were bragging about like I slept for 14 hours.
Yeah, well,
Because
that
he
was
didn't sleep for 6
precipitated.
days before this.
Exactly. It's precipitated by my complete lack of
Because he
sleep.
stayed up until 3 a.m. gooning at Black China.
Yeah. He's like,
Yeah,
oh,
they call me the Goon Witch.
the goon wench.
No, the Goon Witch, because it's the witching hour. I guess I could be a goon
That's pretty hard.
wizard, but
That's
that's
pretty
just a
hard.
goon guy. That's just a gooner.
Well, can we combine goon and warlock somehow? Goonlock.
Goon
The
Lock.
Goon Lock, the War Goon.
I'm trying to. I guess maybe 3 isn't a good time. I just kind of think of 3 as sort of middle of the day. That's what I work
But
out.
you
noon
have a
for
little
sure,
more
then, right?
flexible schedule. 3 would be like, things should be happening at 3.
I'd say like HOV hours are usually bad. Like the hours you're not supposed to be in an HOV
That you
lane
could,
by
you
yourself.
could be alone in the HOV lane.
Generally, you don't jerk off on those hours.
Yeah, maybe 6 if you're stuck in rush hour, like 5. And you're
Can you
just
bust
like,
it out in the car? I've tried.
I've
I can't do
never.
it.
No, I could never do that.
No,
You've never-
I got.
Like moving or unmoving, because I've had sex in a car and I can bust in that.
In a
But like a
moving
moving car,
Oh, okay. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about like on the
No.
highway jerking off.
no, could never. Could never.
Couldn't do it. I had a friend who did it. I didn't watch him do it or something.
You're
totally-
just in the passenger side. Your buddy's just like,
Just
you don't mind
crap.
I do this,
He's
right?
fucking screaming down the highway at 120. He's just like, I love her so much, dude. You're just like, "What the fuck? Put your cock away."
That sounds like you're like about to die in like a murder suicide.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
like you're
Buddy,
in the car with one of your buddies who
Buddy,
just
I
went
fucking
through.
love you. I fucking love you, buddy.
Oh, you're like in the car with one of your buddies who had like just recently had a bad breakup, and he like all of a sudden goes up to like one toy. He's like, I fucking loved her, dude. Just add that, but he's jerking off. That would honestly scariest things you can ever encounter.
Let me tell you something, brother. I love that Angela chick, dude.
Just fucking,
Hulkster, why are you going so fast?
why you get your hand around your cock?
Why are you beating off on the highway, Hulkster? Why are your nuts so tiny,
No.
Hulkster?
But I think I kind of agree with you, Harper. That's probably like noon is the real time.
Yeah.
Go have a sandwich.
Do some laundry. Sweep
Go
the
satisfy
floor.
yourself in other ways.
Yeah, you don't need to, because like I guess in certain schedules, you're at the witching hour. You it's end of the night. You J your D, and then you wake up and it's noon, and then you got to be like, well, it's my day, and then
Robert
you J your
wakes
D
up
again.
at fucking 2:55 sharp out of habit. He doesn't have an alarm set anymore. Fucking gets up, turns on the computer.
I am up. The dick's
Yeah.
up.
He rises from the bed like fucking the Undertaker.
Like
Turns
Dracula.
on his PC, yeah, like Dracula. Fucking turns on the PC. Doesn't even look at the keyboard. Doesn't open his eyes. Pornhub.com. Search bar. Ebony. Black chicks, white dicks.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Goose.
just like go down a wormhole. You're like black little person, gangbang, Las Vegas 2020 shooting.
This is very
Wait,
specific.
the date is
Very
there
specific.
too.
The
It's
date.
like a
I don't know if they date
2013.
those, Malcolm.
Yeah, 2013.
Robert has a short list of Excel sheet like JAV codes. No JAV, the Japanese adult video codes, for like motherless.com.
Yeah, you're
Oh.
like August Ames Memorial Compilation Gangbangs Brothers.com.
Anders Breivik manifesto on the other screen.
No. Well, I have no off ramp.
What off ramp, dude? That is the funniest shit I said all week.
Hello, Pulitzer Prize winning author Cormac McCarthy here. If you are listening to this, it means that I am dead. I will now begin revealing my thoughts of the Seinfuck podcast. Click next to see my first thought. My favorite host on Seinfuck is, of course, Robert Delilah. Just kidding, it's Malcolm, haha.